Win a Pageant, Episode 12.
Every individual pageant contestant has a unique set of strengths that set her apart from the competition. All you need is a clear path to help you discover your strengths to win on stage and in life. Let's win a pageant.
Hi winners, welcome back to another episode of Win a Pageant. I'm your coach, Alycia Darby. Today I'm going to train you what not to do during your big crowning moment. In an exciting moment like winning a pageant title, you may momentarily lose your wits if you're not very wise about it. I've seen girls do all sorts of crazy things when they win a pageant, and as the crown's going on their head, they're like shaking uncontrollably. I've seen women fall to the ground when their name's been called, or some women even look so shocked that you actually expect them to ask for a recount. It's true that winning is really an art, and you wouldn't paint a lovely canvas painting to place it in an art gallery under a gorgeous spotlight where it's just absolutely shining, and then walk up to it as an artist and throw punch all over it at the gallery opening. You just wouldn't do that. So in this episode, I'm going to teach you how to accept a crown with grace and dignity so that your reputation remains that of an honorable and respectable woman. When you are standing in that spotlight, whatever impression that you leave will absolutely last throughout your entire reign and sometimes far beyond that. Perception is reality. And so you don't want to come off bratty or ungrateful or just totally crazy, okay? So I have a list of 7 things not to do, which will make your winning moment graceful, photogenic, and respectable. So let's jump in. The first thing not to do is don't be shocked, okay? Now, obviously, you're going to be excited. It's great to showcase that emotions because, first of all, cameras love it, okay? People like seeing that type of emotion. But you still want to be in control of your emotions. So I actually recommend practicing your crowning moment. So imagine when you're visualizing yourself winning, what do you want it to look like? How do you want to be perceived? How do you want to respond? And if you are able to practice this crowning moment, then you don't look like a pageant freak that the whole state is talking about for years, okay? You set out to win this pageant, so you shouldn't be all that shocked. Number 2, don't miss an opportunity to thank the people that helped you get here. For me, the number one person I always thank is God. The reason being because God is the one who gave me the personality that allowed me to, number 1, naturally shine on stage, but number 2, to be wise enough to seek the counsel of people around me that I knew could really help me to bring out the best qualities in myself. So for me, that was always the very, very first thank you I wanted to deliver. The second is to the judges, just out of graciousness to the judges for being there in support of the pageant and for selecting you. And then, of course, your sponsors and your family members, your friends, the pageant directors. I mean, a lot goes into creating a pageant. So thank those people that helped you to get there. My dad has this great saying, which is, the deeper the roots, the taller the tree. When you remember your roots, people are far more likely to contribute to growing you taller and taller and taller. So you want to think about who helped you grow taller and taller and taller. When you give that back, when you give that thanks back to your mentors, your coaches, your directors, your hair and makeup people, your choreographer, whomever, when in doubt, over thank. A pretty girl can never be too gracious. So always, always, always remember your roots, because the deeper the roots, the taller the tree. So give thanks to everyone that supported you. Number 3, do not sash yourself. Let your predecessor do that, okay? Now, this one is funny because you would think that as you're receiving a crown and your sash and flowers and all this excitement, you would think that you would just, sit down, squat down rather, and just graciously accept the sash. But what sometimes happens is that women, because let's face it, when you're a pageant girl, you're frequently in control of your situation. So when your predecessor walks up with a sash to sash you, you feel like you just want to take it from her and put it on yourself. Don't do that. This is one of the lovely opportunities for the outgoing queen. She's responsible for sashing and crowning you, and it's her final responsibility. So don't steal it from her. Be gracious and accept her assistance. It looks much better in photographs. Number 4, just don't rush. Take your time, soak up the moment, because this allows the media to capture those lovely photos, and you'll have many more memories of your crowning moment. You likely worked extremely hard to get to where you are, and there are lots of people in the audience and backstage and on stage with you who are also in support of your winning. So don't rush that moment through. Just truly allow it to soak into your spirit, because that's going to feel so good throughout your entire reign. Number 5, don't walk the runway with a crooked crown. Usually what happens is you'll kind of squat down into a plie or a little squat position as you're being crowned by your predecessor. She'll have a bunch of bobby pins in her hands, and she'll be hurrying and know she's in the spotlight and sweating and trying to configure this crown to be perfect on top of your head. And then you stand up. What I recommend in that moment, now listen, this is very important. Turn around, hug your outgoing queen, look at her straight in the eyes, and ask with a smile, is the crown on straight? She'll take a moment to look at it, and if it's not, because sometimes it's not. This is the first time she's put a crown on your head. You're probably moving all your head, bobbing around all over the place. Maybe their bobby pins aren't quite right, or, you haven't addressed the crown to make it fit just perfectly. So in this moment, she can take a moment to look at you head on, and she'll make adjustments, because remember, that's her responsibility. She doesn't want you walking around with a flopping crown, So she'll take a moment to make sure that it's adjusted right, so that then when you take that runway walk, you can be proud and confident knowing that it's on tight. Number 6, this one might sound a little bit silly, but it's still very important. Don't lock your knees in photographs, because you'll pass out. So keep your shoes on. This isn't the 9th grade dance. Keep your shoes on. But allow yourself to shift side to side so you can bend one knee and then bend the other, because you may be, after your crowning moment, you may be standing for a very long time getting your photographs taken. And you want to be able to bend your knees so that you allow your blood to be sent back into your heart so you're not passing out, okay? So make sure you're just not locking your knees. Kind of shift back and forth. Take little breaks in between bending your knees so that you can maintain your energy. Number 7, and this one is just so important, and that is, don't ignore your pageant production team. There have been so many people that spent years, or at least an entire year, and thousands of dollars to give you a perfect crowning moment. Your directors, the production team, photographers, stage crew, the choreographer, even your fellow contestants. Be sure to give them credit for a lovely production and showcase your gratitude for everybody's contribution, because you would not have that beautiful videotape and all these gorgeous images, pictures, and things, and you wouldn't have all these awesome memories without the person that picked out the music, without the person that was able to create the choreography and chose the opening number dresses and all of that. So be sure that you honor that a production is not a simple thing. So really honor and show that gratitude for your team as you see them, particularly after the pageant. Now that really goes for whether or not you have been crowned. This is all just important advice for life. Next week, we're going to talk more about what not to do in the early stages of your pageant queen reign, because the beginning of your reign is just so important to your continued success. And if you accept a title with grace, then you will, of course, be seen as graceful. And that, ladies, is how you win a pageant. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
To learn more and to get valuable resources to help you win, visit winapageant.com.
Hey there, I'm Alycia Darby, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching that last video. If you totally loved it and got something from it, would you just click subscribe right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel? Hey, I am here for you, and I've got so many more trainings and videos for you. In fact, this one would be a really great one to watch next. Or if that topic doesn't interest you, then try this one. It's my most recent video training. So I think both of these would be really great for you. Thank you again so much for subscribing. I am honored to be your coach. I'll see you again soon.